What is going on, everyone? Welcome into the 541 Fisherman YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a bobber and jig setup for winter steelhead fishing, how to tie it up so that you guys can go out and have some success on the water. So without any more, let's go ahead and show you guys how to tie this up. So we are going to show you guys from the very basic setup. So this is my main line here that I have, and this is actually a 40-pound Power Pro super slick line. Now your fishing rod, it don't really matter. It's more of a personal preference. I like using Okuma fishing products. They're at one of my favorite companies out there. I actually have an Okuma rod and an Okuma reel right here. That's what I'm tying this onto. So to start, you guys are gonna take your main line here. And this, like I said, 40-pound Power Pro super slick braided line. You guys are gonna take a bobber stop. Now what you do, okay, is you take the line and you put it through the little plastic tube on the bobber stop like so. You slide up your line a little bit. Now you're gonna take that little bobber stop and you're gonna slide it off like so. Sometimes it's kind of a pain in the butt, like this one's gonna be a pain in the butt today because whoever tied it on there, the machine that tied it on there, tied it pretty dang tight. Once you slide it off, you grab both ends of it and you just pull and it cinches it onto your line. Now what you guys are gonna do is you're actually gonna go ahead and leave these little tag ends on there until we get this tied up, and then I'm gonna show you guys a little life hack. But cinch those up, leave them on there, and just kind of grab it and slide it up your line a little bit so it's out of the way. Now that you've got your bobber stop on there, what you guys are gonna do here is you're gonna take the end of your line and you're gonna take one of these little beads, little green bead guys here, and these come in the bobber packs, okay? You guys are gonna go ahead and you're gonna put the line through the bead, just like so that you have the bead on the line there, okay? Next, you're gonna go ahead, and this is optional, you don't have to, but I personally like doing it for jig fishing, okay? You guys are gonna take a little corky, whatever color you want. This one's just green. And you're gonna put it on the line just like you did that bead, okay? Bam, just like that. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your float. Now, this is a Fishfield Driftmaster. It is a 1/2 ounce float. Now make sure you remember that it is a 1/2 ounce float because that's actually very key for this. So you're gonna take your float and you're gonna put your line through it, just like you did the bead and the corky. What I did there was sometimes if the line gets stuck, you leave a little slack and you suck on the end of it and it comes through. Now what you guys are gonna do is you're gonna take one of these other little hard beads here that just like the first one you put on, and you're gonna take and you're gonna put the line through it like so. Okay, there you go. Let's take a little recap here. So you have your bobber stop, your bead, your corky, your bobber, and your bead. Now, what you're gonna do is you are going to take a 1/4 ounce inline weight. Now this has a swivel on both ends of it, okay? And you're gonna take that and you're gonna tie it onto the end of your main line here. You're gonna do a fisherman's knot or whatever knot you want. Fisherman's knot is 8 wraps with braided lines, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now you have a little loop. You're gonna go through it. Now you've created a new loop, and I don't really know how well you can see it, but if you want to learn how to do those knots, go look up other videos on YouTube. There's a bunch of them that are like computer automated. Cinch that down just like so, and then you're going to take your handy dandy scissors. These are actually just the like $12 Realtree ones from Walmart. They're actually really nice, and you're just going to cut the tag end off of that. So now that we have this whole thing tied up here and it's all, you know, once it's bumped against the weight, it's not going to go anywhere. Let's go back to this bobber stop really quick. So with these rope stops, they like to come loose and slide up and down your line. So what you're gonna do is before you move it here, give it a little snug and just slide it up the line, down the line, up the line, and down the line, right? And you loosened it up, and now take it, pull those strings again, and you're gonna go ahead and you're just gonna cut the little tag ends of the strings here off. Careful not to cut your main line. Bam, bam, just like that. And there you go. You have a bobber stop, and that should not go anywhere. It should be pretty firm on there. You should be able to slide it up and down your line. It should be nice and firm. So now, what you're gonna do is you guys are gonna take fluorocarbon line. You don't have to use fluorocarbon, but I like using fluorocarbon. This is Cigar STS, so salmon, trout, steelhead. It is 12 pound, it's 100 yards, and this at Mazama Sporting Goods was, can't really see it probably, but it was $10. It won't focus on it, but it was $10.95 for 100 yards of this fluorocarbon. And this is 100% fluorocarbon, good stuff. Now what you guys are gonna do here is pop it off, take your little piece, you know, whatever size you want, 36 inches or whatever. Make sure you check your rules and regulations, because like in some places you can't have more than a certain amount, you can't have less. I think right about 30 to 34 inches is pretty ideal. Clip your line off there. Now, this is where it becomes important. So let's do some math here. It's gonna pop right up on the bottom of the screen. So we have a 1/2 ounce float, right? So we have a 1/4 ounce weight and a 1/4 ounce jig. Now, 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 1/2, which is what this float needs to float properly when going down the river. So you wanna make sure you match this weight and your weight of your jig, and it usually will say like on arrow jigs, it's right here, it won't focus, but this is a 1/4 ounce jig. You guys wanna make sure that they add up to the amount of the weight or really close to it. Sometimes going a little over is better than going under, because the fish will feel less resistance when pulling it under. You're gonna take a jig, open it up here. Make sure that if you guys are doing this at the river, pick up after yourself, make sure you pick up all of your garbage. So this is our 12-pound fluorocarbon, this is our jig. We're gonna put it through the eye of the jig, and we're going to tie another fisherman's knot. But with this, we only do 4 wraps. You only do 4 wraps with fluorocarbon. Go through the loop and then through the new loop you created. Always wet your knot with fluorocarbon or monofilament. Wet it and then cinch it. Cut the tag end off. Now we're going to take that jig and we are going to tie it onto our 1/4 ounce weight that is tied onto our main line. Doing another fisherman's knot. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Putting it through the loop, through the new loop you created. Let your knot cinch. And boom, just like that, you have a bobber and jig setup. Now what we're gonna do here is I'm actually gonna go ahead and hold it just like this. Take a screenshot of this right now. Bam, take a screenshot of this so that you guys can see exactly how to tie this up next time you guys are at the river. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this little how-to. Definitely, like, go message me on Instagram or something. Let me know any other how-tos that you guys might want to see. I'm gonna be just figuring out, like how to tie a bumper for steelhead, like for spinner fishing. There's a bunch of things I'd like to do that I know that you guys probably want some help with. I plan on doing an in-depth bead fishing, so that could already be out. Definitely go check it out. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure that you guys have some fun when you go fishing. Thank you for watching, and see you guys on the next how-to.